Hello and thank you for watching my video. My name is Astrid Krasniqi. I am Cisco CCNA, CCNP and Palo Alto certified instructor. In this video we are covering PCNSA 210 and this is our chapter 8 WildFire Virus Analysis. Now this is the fourth video of chapter 8 which is 8.4 Lab WildFire. Now like with every other lab, everything that we learn in this chapter we're going to try and implement it in our lab. It's not a big lab here. There's just a few things to do, but it still is very interesting stuff. So first thing is we're going to configure our WildFire settings. Well, we're not going to change anything. I'm just going to show you where to go and find it if you need to change it. And we're going to configure and test a WildFire Analysis Security Profile. And here I'm going to have to pause the video a few times because updates are not going to appear right away. We need to wait maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes to see any submissions. And then we're going to look at the WildFire update schedule. Now this is a lab topology that we'll be using to demonstrate WildFire for you. And all I need is a PC on the inside zone who's going to go to the internet and is going to simulate a zero-day attack. And we're going to see a WildFire submission. So I'm going to go to my firewall and first thing is we're going to look at the WildFire settings, and to find them there you need to go to device, then setup, and then we have a WildFire tab. And these are the general settings. Now these are predefined settings. If you want to change them, we need to click on this gear icon and we can change the public cloud, maybe to the regional cloud as we learned in one of the lessons. We can change it to our private cloud as well, or we can use both as a hybrid, private and public. And the file size limits, these are the file sizes that should not exceed anymore so the firewall can upload to the WildFire. And you can change them, but the default are okay. And benign and grayware files, what to do? Are they going to appear in submission log or not? But anyway, I'm not going to change anything. Just going to leave it as is. And then further down, we have a session information settings. So these are the information that are going to be sent to the WildFire. And for example, if people are sensitive or maybe set to send some information, you can untick them. By default, you can see that everything is being ticked. And maybe I don't want to send a user ID, just untick that. Maybe I don't want to send the email subject, untick that. Anything that you don't want to send, you can just untick it. I'm going to leave it to default. It's fine. It's a trained-in firewall anyway. So to configure and test the WildFire Analysis Profile, the next step is, like every other security profile, we need to navigate to Objects and then Security Profiles. And then we have a WildFire analysis. Now, as you can see, by default, like other security profiles, they have a default predefined security profile, and WildFire has it as well. You can use it. You can't delete it or modify it. If you want to modify it, you can clone it first, and then you can modify the clone. But if I open this predefined default one, you can see that it's a read-only, and anything will be sent to the public cloud. Okay, so I'm going to create my own WildFire Analysis Security Profile, and I'm going to call it Astrid WF, so WildFire Profile. And I'm going to leave the description empty. I'm going to click Add, and then on the name, I'm just going to put PE for Portable Executables. Application, I can put any, or I can add on some application that I want to use, but I can just say any. File type, I want to use portable executable only. And you can see all the file types that we could use. So I'm just using PE. And direction could be upload, download, or both. I'm going to use it both, so upload and download. And we can have a public or private. So we don't have it. You saw it on the list. I don't have anything on the private. So I'm going to leave it to public only. And click OK. Now this security profile, we need to attach it to the security policy rule. So for that, I need to go to policies and then security. And then the rule is inside zone to outside, so in to out. And under the action, I need the profile settings. I'm going to add it to profile, WildFire analysis, and I'll put the profile I just created. And I'll click OK. So now this is configured and we're going to commit it. Okay, now the commit has completed successfully, so I can close this. And to actually create that or simulate a zero-day attack, I need to go to my inside machine, and I'll open a incognito browser, and I'll navigate to one of the Palo Alto networks sites will simulate this zero-day attack, and that's in http //wildfire Palo Alto networks.com and public API test PE. Okay, so that's, I don't need to click it, but that's my zero-day attack, and that should have generated the WildFire submission. Now to verify that, I can open terminal emulator like PuTTY and access my firewall. And the IP address of my firewall is 192.168.1.254, and this SSH open. I'm gonna log in as admin, and then to see if there is anything being uploaded to the WildFire or submitted to WildFire for analysis, I'll use a command, for example, called debug WildFire, and then upload log show. And as you can see, we have a file that the PE file has been uploaded. We have a success, and I must have, because I uploaded other files as well, I can see them here as well. I did the practice earlier, so I did upload them a few times. Okay, so we need to go back to the monitor to see it, and that will be under the logs and WildFire submissions. And there we go. So we can see the WildFire submission, and we can see the inside zone to outside, source address to this destination address, and then further down we should see the verdict, malicious. If you want to see in more detail, for example, this file, we need to click on the magnifying glass, and it will open the WildFire analysis report in more detail. And we can see here the verdict of the file is malware, and the sample file, we can download the file here as well if you want to, but it's still a virus. And if we're not happy with this, we can go towards the end, and we can say report incorrect verdict, and I click in here, and this will open a page where I can suggest different verdict. The next thing we're going to do is look at the WildFire license that we have, and then look at the scheduled update schedule. So to look at the license, we need to go to device, and towards the end we have licenses, and our WildFire license is up to 2021 for WildFire signature feed, integrated WildFire logs, and WildFire APIs. If we want to change the schedule update of the WildFire, we need to go to device and then dynamic updates, and again towards the end we have a WildFire, and we can see that we can schedule to update it, for example, every minute, check, every 15 minutes, every hour, and so on. And then what to do with the download. We can do nothing, download only, download and install. Okay, thank you for watching the lesson 8.4 WildFire Lab. This is of chapter 8 WildFire. Please have a look at my other videos and don't forget to subscribe. This has been Astrid Krasniqi, and bye bye.